Hello lovely people, how you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Hope you all are doing great. Welcome back to my channel, Queen Choma here. So in this video,
pretty privilege is real. It is. I said the shit. It's real. I have seen people gravitate towards me and then all of a sudden like compliment me on my eyes, my skin color, my hair, whatever, right? So it's real. People do actually, I guess treat me differently because of it. Now, because of it, the different treatment is not always good, okay? Sometimes the treatment is negative and it's bad. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on. So I'm gonna need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well. Like, for real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay? Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here, and we didn't have anything to do with it. So I was in a public spot a few weeks ago, and there was a gentleman who was talking to me more than he was talking to the other ladies in the room. And ever since then, those ladies have been treating me like shit. And it wasn't my fault. He was just talking to me. I mean, probably because I was confident enough to speak back to him. I don't know. But they was hating.
So after her original video blew up, Miss Ma'am decided to post a response video for us. If you've seen the original post and you've combed through all the comments, you would see that most of them look like this one. They're letting her know very gently and kindly that she is describing colorism and not pretty privilege. She decided to take that as an insult. She thinks that we're all trying to tell her that she's not pretty and that we're all haters. We're just all collectively hating on her for no reason. What I'm really worried about is that she's been on this earth for 50 years and she is confused. She doesn't seem to understand colorism at all. The only example she can give of her pretty privilege is somebody paying for her meal at a bar, or when other women hate on her for getting attention from a man. Little does she know that most women experience that level of attention from men. It's a very small section of the population that doesn't experience that every time they leave the house, okay? Pretty privilege gives you opportunities that no one else can get. If you want a real example of what pretty privilege is, go ahead and look at Lori Harvey, all right? Respectfully, we've got to learn the difference between disagreeing and hating on somebody, just like you need to learn the difference between colorism and pretty privilege.
Does Yzma know we can see her? Like, does she know we can see her? The actual video is deleted now. That ad is from someone talking about it, which I'm gonna tag it because she has the video, like the full video about this. But Yzma, you know we got eyes, right? Like you know. Okay, I think it's such a shame that a 50-year-old woman, and yes, 50, yes, yeah, she's 50, okay? It's a shame that a 50-year-old woman is still relying on being light-skinned. Like, I thought at some point y'all was gonna outgrow this whole shit, but no, all you light-skinned or whatever, this is your future. That's crazy. 50. 50. And like, she lost a bunch of weight, and of course as you get older, like the skin elasticity and stuff doesn't like snap back, but it's like, you know we can see you, right? Like I'm just like, Cardi B again. Like I mean, like,
Pretty privilege is real. It is. I said the shit. It's real. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on.
Y'all know that story time I did years ago about how I lost a best friend and how me and her mom got into it where we almost got into a physical altercation? This is the mother. Yeah, this is Tamika. Meet Tamika, everyone. Round of applause. This is Tamika. She's just as delusional as she was years ago. And what's so interesting to me, now that I've matured into a grown woman, I have realized that people who have went their whole life without being put in their place will continue to perpetuate lies if you let them. Because she has been saying these same somber ass truths to her life since I was a teenager. Yeah, the same rhetoric, a coon, because that's what she is. And something that I think is so interesting is that you're sitting up here trying to convince the world that you suffered from pretty privilege because you were light-skinned with colored eyes and curly hair, when in actuality you just suffered from racism at the hands of your own family members, your siblings, might I add. You and your brother were the only two mixed children in your family of rednecks, and they bullied y'all for it. They called y'all niggers, and they still continue to call y'all niggers, but y'all just grew to accept it because y'all love y'all family. That's what I was told, and to mind my business because it's family business. Remember that? Or we don't remember that because we don't want to tell the world the truth. Something else that I think is so interesting is also when light-skinned women who aren't pretty claim that they suffered from pretty privilege because they were light-skinned with, you know, colored eyes and curly hair, the features that people assume will make you attractive, and they're just ugly. You suffered from racism and being ugly, and you were fat. So no, you had nobody hated on you because you were just so pretty. People hated on you because you were a bitch. You were a mean, evil spirited fat bitch. That's what you were. You know something else? I just think it's so embarrassing for your daughter to represent Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, and this is what you do. You continue to be a coon, even when you have every resource at your disposal to not be.
Here's another video of a woman saying that she has pretty privilege and it's very difficult. Looking at the video, of course, we all know she probably got some backlash because of her age. She's probably around a lot of older people, so maybe in the area she's in, maybe she does stand out, you know.
Pretty privilege is real. It is. I said the shit. It's real. I have seen people gravitate towards me and then all of a sudden like compliment me on my eyes, my skin color, my hair because of it. The different treatment is not always good. Okay. Sometimes the treatment is negative and it's bad. For real. Like, give us a break.
It's just the fact of people get on here and act like it's such an inconvenience that it's like the worst thing in the world when it really isn't. But the thing about her story that kind of threw me off is she said she was in a public area with other females. She didn't call them her friends or coworkers or, you know, I don't really know who these other females were, but she said man was talking to her more than the other females there.
I was in a public spot a few weeks ago, and there was a gentleman who was talking to me more than he was talking to the other ladies in the room. And ever since then, those ladies have been treating me like shit. And it wasn't my fault. He was just talking to me. I mean, probably because I was confident enough to speak back to him. I don't know. But they was hating. And they've been treating me like shit ever since. So
it was a very vague, weird story because usually females will like specifically say, okay, these were my friends or associates. And it's like, who are these random women that you're around constantly that automatically are treating you bad? Like, what are they doing? Are you saying hi to them and they're like walking past you? Or, you know what I mean? Are you asking them to go out again and they're like not answering your phone calls? Like, it just... her story just sounded weird. It was just very odd to me because you usually don't see women her age talk like that. You know, women her age usually don't care. You could even call these women your friends. Like, them not speaking to you, why does that even matter? The story just seemed a little like attention seeking. Like, you know, it's not my fault. I'm so gorgeous. Like, don't get mad at me. It's so hard just being the pretty girl in the room.
I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay? Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here, and we didn't have anything to do with it.
Everybody has had moments where you didn't feel like you were being treated right, okay? So it's kind of almost conceited to always feel like I'm just treated so badly because I'm so gorgeous. Like, it just... see, I can't even say something like that. It sounds just very conceited, and random women getting upset at you. Obviously, these are not your friends. These are not people that even, you know, really care about you to begin with. So why does that matter? Like, if anything, that highlights, you know, the people that you should not be around.
What that lady that said she has pretty privilege fails to realize is that people are not upset at her because she's pretty. People are upset because you're ignorant to colorism. People liking you and complimenting you because of your light skin and your light eyes is not pretty privilege. You're talking about something completely different, and you honestly told on yourself, so you should have just kept quiet. Being a fetish because you're light skinned and have green eyes should not even be something that you want to brag about. I would hate to have everybody fetishize me simply for my features. So why would then everybody be upset that you're speaking about your fetish? No one wants to be you. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, girl. Girl to girl, you need to address the deeper ingrained beliefs that you have going on in your mind. And it's not regarding pretty privilege. It's diving deeper into the meaning of colorism and what it is to be a fetish. I'm not gonna say she's ugly, and I'm not gonna say she looks old. Two things can be true at once. She can be pretty and ignorant, and she can look old, but I'm not saying.
Now, I would never call anybody ugly because rude. However, if you are going to come onto the internet, the interwebs, and speak about pretty privilege and how it affects you, you need to be in the realm of pretty privilege. You need to at least have one of those P's, the pretty or the privilege. And if you don't have either, you need to sit back and shut the fuck up. This is exactly why I agree with Cardi when she said, I hate bitches that think they're pretty because they're light-skinned. Because it's facts. You think that you're pretty because you're light-skinned. It's not because you actually are pretty. It's because you have lighter skin. That's called colorism. Like, I never understood why people would say, oh, well, girls hate me because I'm pretty. They hate me because I look the way I look. Because, like, did they tell you that? Did y'all sit down and have a conversation? They say, yeah, girl, I don't like you because you just look so much better than me? Or are you assuming? 9 times out of 10, you're assuming. And to have such a undeveloped frontal lobe mindset at the ripe age of 47, it's a bit insane. It's a bit insane when you take a step back and realize this is a grown-ass woman.
I hate to say this, and I don't mean to sound rude, but is this you? Okay. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling here to see where the pretty privilege is. And so here's the thing. When pretty privilege is centered around the male gaze, that's when you become a pick-me. How? She's a 50-year-old woman. Hard 50. Work on you, ma'am. Starts right here.
It's real. It is. I said the shit. It's real. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on.
So I was with you, but you went too far left back. You only described colorism and featurism. You specified eye color, hair texturism, and lightness being the reason why you're prettier.
I need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well.
So are we rebranding colorism with pretty privilege?
For real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay?
Are you rage baiting, boo? That's what it sounds like.
That pretty privilege lady found out real quick what the internet is like, and it is ruthless. Pretty privilege is real. But I think in her case, just judging by a lot of the things that she said in her video, it's not pretty privilege, and here's why. I think that she might be so arrogant and think that she's so much better than everyone because she has light eyes, because she apparently has curlier hair or more desirable hair in her opinion, which, let's be real. But I feel like she's probably so arrogant that people are just like rude to her because they're like, why are you acting this way? Why do you act like you're better than everybody? I don't really think people are hating on her. The one thing you should never do in life is tell people that you have haters. You need to let people tell you you have haters. You can't self-proclaim yourself as someone who has haters. I'm assuming she grew up somewhere in the South and she's like 50. So where she's from and her generation, in some instances, they do think that fair-skinned people are far better than other black people, but that's not the case at all. She doubled down on her statement and she thinks we're all hating on her, and I feel like all of her haters are in her own mind.
These two people are the same person in different stages of life. This is who people like her become without some sort of intervention. When I first saw this lady, I was confused. I'm like, is she serious? Later, I saw one of her other videos where she doubled down on everything that she was saying because she wasn't joking. She responded to a comment of someone else saying, like, you're not experiencing pretty privilege, you're just benefiting from colorism. And she was like, I know what colorism is, and I am experiencing pretty privilege because I'm pretty. She says she is a conventionally attractive woman and men treat her as such. So I'm like, whoa, okay. Now, here's where I'm going to choose my words wisely because I don't want to insult this lady. I don't think that she's terrible looking. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that being conventionally attractive is a very specific thing that doesn't apply to a lot of people. I am also not conventionally attractive, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that people can't find you attractive. It just means that it doesn't apply to you. It's like that Venn diagram thing where it's like all Dalmatians are dogs, not all dogs are Dalmatians, or whatever that thing is. That's what this is. Like, all light-skinned women can benefit from colorism, but that doesn't mean that all light-skinned women are automatically conventionally attractive, and to assume such is in fact rooted in colorism.
Pretty privilege is real. It is. I said the shit. It's real. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on.
You know something, my mom? I was really with you in the first half. You got me. You made me stay there in the first half. But then you start saying stuff like this. Oh, and I just want to remind you all to subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in my bio because TikTok is about to start going to shit. And I actually do want to keep talking to y'all, so I would appreciate that. Thank you. Continue the video.
So I'm going to need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well. Like,
I was like, yes, this is a good thing. Like, she's aware. Whole time, you tricked me. Like, you trying to say that people hating on you because you are pretty. There are bad sides to being pretty. Do you know how self-centered you sound?
for real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay?
People really out here trying to rage bait, and it's just so hilarious to me. Blame our moms and dads for not being light-skinned and pretty and having light-colored eyes. Quote-unquote pretty.
Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here, and we didn't have anything to do with it.
He then goes on to give us a story time about how there were other people in the room, other women, and a man came and talked straight to her. He went to her and talked to her, and they were mad at her ever since then. So basically you're saying people that aren't pretty, i.e. darker skinned people, people that have brown eyes, and whatever, they're mad at you for being pretty, light-skinned, and having light eyes. She showed a picture of her before, and she was like a little chubbier, so I'm guessing that's where the wrinkles come from. But this is crazy, y'all. I don't know. What do y'all think?
So let's talk about this whole pretty privilege thing, right? I know it's taken me a while to come back with a response video, but this comment right here sums up exactly what I was trying to say. But you know how TikTok guidelines work. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go there. But anyway, she said everything that I was trying to make a point at in my video. I've seen a few comments that are asking why I even bothered to put her pre-weight loss body picture in the video, right? I put that picture to make a point that regardless of you having light colored eyes or a certain texture of hair, when it comes to pretty privilege, based on societal norms, the first thing that's going to come to the top of the list is body type. And I'm saying this as a girl who's lost a ton of weight myself. I've noticed that I've been treated way differently compared to when I was heavier set. There's no shade to this lady because I've never said that she was an unattractive woman. And when it comes to pretty privilege, body structure is going to be the first thing that people notice right off the rip. Another person mentioned in the comments, I'm actually going to put it up here. Another person mentioned that this woman is probably going through some type of arrested development where back in her heavier set days, she didn't have that attention that she's getting now that she's transformed her body. But let's also not forget that pretty privilege and colorism do intersect, but they are both products of palm-colored supremacy. So because she's getting more engagement from men, or she's getting that male gaze that she really probably didn't have when she was heavier set, and again, I'm only saying this because I was a heavier set woman myself and I've lost a bunch of weight. You do not get the same reaction in society. You don't. So it's like this. What she thinks is pretty privilege, that was being overshadowed by her weight. That's just what it is in our society. And I can speak from that experience because that was my experience growing up. And we also got to be a little realistic. Pretty privilege for most people does diminish with age. The weight loss coupled with the fact that she's now experiencing this in her later years is the reason why people are bringing age into the equation. When you have pretty privilege, it's like wealth. It whispers. What that woman was describing in her video was colorism. One thing I did gather was that she ultimately was trolling. And the thing about pretty privilege and beauty and, all the things is that it's all subjective. That woman has absolutely every right to feel herself. But the issue comes in when you're feeling yourself at the expense of putting others down. Congratulations to this woman on her weight loss. It is never easy going through a transformation. I said all that to say this. If you're going to troll the internet with colorism, just be prepared for the comments.
Pretty privilege is real. It is. I said it's real. I have seen people gravitate towards me and then all of a sudden like compliment me on my eyes, my skin color, my hair, whatever, right? So it's real. People do actually, I guess treat me differently because of it. Now, because of it, the different treatment is not always good, okay?
Is she trolling? I see what she's saying from a talking point perspective. I didn't know that she was going to use herself as an example. I will say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so I admire confidence, and I do want to get further into the video. Y'all be sending me some wild stuff, bro. Let me just get to the rest of this.
Sometimes the treatment is negative and it's bad. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on. So I'm gonna need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well. Like, for real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay? Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here, and we didn't have anything to do with it. So, I was in a public spot a few weeks ago, and there was a gentleman who was talking to me more than he was talking to the other ladies in the room. And ever since then, those ladies have been treating me like shit. And it wasn't my fault. He was just talking to me. I mean, probably because I was confident enough to speak back to him. I don't know. But they was hating. And they've been treating me like shit ever since. So y'all, be kind. Be kind to us pretty girls.
All right, so look, y'all. You know how when people say, how do I approach this? When people say, when you have money, you don't have to necessarily always say that you have money, which I don't always necessarily agree with. It depends on the context of the conversation. I think that that's kind of like an applicable example here. Like, if it was really that, because see, the pretty girls that I know, they not necessarily talking like this. They actually are trying to be as humble as possible because they don't like the fact that people judge them or assume that they only get what it is that they want based off of the fact that they're pretty. And I think that, I don't know how old she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I actually watched this video, and I seen like the first maybe 7 seconds of it before I started reacting to it right here. And I said, oh, okay, this should be an interesting one. And so now I'm kind of surprised at the context of the conversation. I went to her profile because, I like to make sure that this is not something from somebody else's profile or somebody stole the video or whatever, because I like to give credit to the content creator. And it looks like she actually probably lost a lot of weight.
That light bright with the green eyes just lost 170 pounds, which is why she's behaving this way. Because she had a desirable face, but she did not have a desirable body per society. So now that she has a desirable body, she now wants to flaunt it in ways that you guys deemed acceptable. Because while y'all are talking about colorism, which she is participating in colorism, y'all are doing the same thing she's doing right now. Last week when we were talking about Chris Brown and his preferences. When y'all run out here and say that you desire or prefer women with lighter skin, lighter eyes, and Eurocentric beauty features, what do you think happens to those women in 30 years? They become her. So while you're online talking about whose granny is this? Why is granny thinking that she could say, why is granny talking like this? Whose granny that? That's your preferences, granny. That's your preference in 30 years. The only difference is she gained her preference status or her desirability when she was older. The same mindset that your preferences have right now, thinking they're better than other people based on their features, eye color, and skin tone and texture of hair, you're just seeing 30 years from now.
Now, Miss Pretty Privilege, do you know you're part of the reason why these kids don't want us on this fucking app anymore? And this is coming from someone of your own generation. You said that you are 50. I am 52. So I'm really talking sister to sister here. I grew up with women like you. You couldn't get into any altercations with them. You couldn't say that you didn't like them because the first thing that would fly out of your mouth was, oh, you're just jealous. See, you grew up with people telling you that anytime someone disagreed with you or just flat out didn't like you, that they were jealous of you because you were light skinned and you had light eyes. But light skin and pretty aren't always synonymous. And there are plenty of dark skinned women that benefit from pretty privilege. And truthfully, your words and your attitude are uglier than anything that anyone could say about you visually. You cannot be ugly on the inside and struggling on the outside.
So guys, I'm going to leave it for you all down in the comment section to decide. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section, and please, let's be respectful with our comments. We can disagree, but please, let's do that respectfully. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can bring you more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.